want to showcase this posture right here, because if you were in this general posture with your upper body, even your lower body with your rear hip into rotation, if you were landing here, okay, if you were at an anchor point with this posture, you'd be throwing at least 10 to 15 miles an hour harder. But you're not, right? You're probably 2, maybe 3 clicks away from full anchor point, which obviously now things start to kind of collapse, meaning we look at how this starts to rotate, and this is your trunk. We can see how when I go to the next frame, you can see how it starts to pull, boom, pull. We're not even at full anchor point. One more, boom. Now we're at full anchor point, and you can see that your trunk has already rotated a fairly good bit. Now, here's the thing with trunk rotation mechanics. Your trunk stays neutral until you anchor down. That's what I call launching from stretch. You're going to see a lot of context on this in the report. We want to launch from stretch. We talk about hip-shoulder separation, right? So hip-shoulder separation does us no good. Like right here, you have a pretty good amount of separation, but it does us no good because we're not anchored down yet. So if you think about like the pulling of the rubber band, right, you can pull it to the greatest capacity, but like if you start to then relax and ease some of that tension and then pull it, like you had the capacity to increase your power output for that rubber band if you were to launch it from here, right? But like you didn't, because you started to pull this a little bit forward, which eased the tension in the rubber band. It's exactly what you're doing right here. You're just easing the tension, right? So you create a lot of rotational energy here. Hips go early, that's great. But now your trunk follows suit, right? And boom, now we anchor down. And your trunk's already rotated. So this is where a couple different breakdowns, in my opinion, come from, which is since your trunk's already started its rotation, you can't effectively, yikes, words are fun, effectively pull your arm through to create power output, create natural, more efficient arm speed by way of incorporating and recruiting bigger muscle groups. So then you push that ball into release. And along with that, your trail leg shoots into hip flexion as it comes into ball release. And I think that's just a byproduct of a couple different things, mainly, you know, the positioning. I think a lot of it comes down to positioning and timing, posture, and a little bit of trunk instability. All right. So like I said, dude, if you anchor down here, and this could just be a byproduct of you not getting a whole lot of mound reps. I see that kind of often with guys that don't throw on a mound all too often because their body gets used to the sensory input of flat, right? So obviously when you're on a slope, your front foot has more time until it anchors down, right? So it could just be a byproduct of you just needing more mound reps to get used to that timing on the slope. Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm just seeing, you know, early trunk rotation leading into pushing the ball into release, which is limiting your arm acceleration, and a little bit of trail leg hip flexion. Let's go to your boy here, Bauer. From the side, you can see it as he gets into his anchor point. Boom, right? So rear hip into rotation, anchored down, trunk neutral. That's that same posture that you were in, right, that we showed you. But he's now anchored down, so now he can launch from this stretch position. You can see him pull his arm through, creating natural arm acceleration into his release. Okay. Hopefully that part makes sense. We can give you even some more context on this when we show you from the back. Boom. Anchor down, you can see your shoulder and your rear hip, right? Anchor down, they just start to move together. You see that? And we don't want them to move together until moments after we anchor down. Hopefully that piece makes sense. You'll see a ton of context on this in the report. It's a fairly common breakdown, but you can see with Bauer from the back as well. Boom, anchoring down. You can see the segmentation. And what I mean by segmentation is hip rotations going, but the trunk stayed neutral throughout. So he creates a ton of this separation, right? This tension, this rotational energy. And as he anchors down, boom, stabilizes lead leg, and then we can launch from that stretch, boom, pull the arm through. So hopefully that piece makes sense. I honestly think that's your biggest breakdown as far as your goal of throwing harder, right? All right, dudes, thank you for watching that video. If you're interested in booking your own analysis, be sure to click that link. Also, I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways here in the upcoming months on my YouTube channel, but you need to be subscribed in order to be entered in those giveaways. All right, so you're going to click that link right there to subscribe, to provide some more context on the specific thing that we were just talking about. I included a video right down below. All right, guys, enjoy your day. God bless. Until next time.